Well, overall, obviously, a game that kind of was pretty much overshadowed of what happened a couple of days ago. So a game that basically Panama and us really not wanted to play in terms of, how do you pump them up now for that game after what happened on Wednesday night. But both teams deserve a huge compliment. They went all the way through. They went 120 minutes. They went in the penalty shootout. They were both extremely tired and gave what was left basically in them. So credit to Panama for how they went through that tournament and stayed on course. And for us, it's clear that we look towards September, 2 friendly games to build things in order to win the playoff then in October.
Questions? Brian.
Jurgen, 2 years ago, you guys stormed through the Gold Cup, won all 6 games. This time, 3 wins, 4th place. Is there something different about your team? Was there something different about the competition this time? What's the difference between 2 years ago and now?
Well, that's. I think all the teams were really competitive. All the teams were into their competition and wanted badly to win it. And there was just a lot of stuff going on, outside the field. There was always a sense of kind of being uncertain of what happens next. I think, when I talked to the players this morning and I told them, listen, guys, we don't know what will happen, because every time you go in the field, you don't know what happens with the refs in terms of, either way they go and you feel really sorry for them because, if they make a mistake, then whatever side goes at them. And so this kind of feeling was there from the beginning on this tournament that, you always wonder what will happen, And so that kind of overshadowed everything that really went on, probably until tomorrow then of the final game, No, I think, going through it, from our end, we started fine. We got the 2 wins. We were qualified quarters. We took care of the quarters, and then it happened what happened on Wednesday night. And it took the wind out. That's just normal. That's fine, But it shows you also how competitive this region is. Nations that were maybe not regarded as high, before the tournament, earned a lot of respect, earned a lot of compliments, like Haiti, for example, or especially Jamaica being in the final. So you got to give them credit as well.
Brooke.
Jurgen, you've now had 4 years at the helm. Can you talk about where you think the U.S. has improved the most since you took over, and what areas are you most proud of?
Oh, well, it's always difficult to talk about improvement when you lose a game. I think, this is the year 1 after Brazil, and our goal is to go further in the next World Cup than we did in Brazil. And this is a working process now, that will give us here and there some kickbacks, some situations where you make a step back maybe and then you hopefully make 2 forward, So that process is ongoing. We had the discussion also on Wednesday night after the game with Jamaica. And this team will grow. This team will get better. The youngsters will learn out of mistakes that they make on the field. They will become more responsible, more accountable, more personalities. But I can't blame anybody for the last 4 weeks in no way, because they really showed great character. Spirit was very good throughout the entire tournament. They kept going. So our goal is to move things forward, to become a little bit more proactive and not too reactive. That discussion we had, over the last couple of years. So this process will keep on going.
Do you think they're doing that, though? Do you think they are more proactive now than they were a couple of years ago?
I think so, yes. I think so.
John.
Jurgen, what you're talking about, when you balance a team in transition, bringing younger players in with obviously having some experienced players, how do you decide which is right for the future, but also trying to accomplish what you need to do in the present?
Well, you always have an eye on the growth of the team and the program. At the same time, you also zoom in, and when a tournament is happening, you want to win the tournament. So the goal was to win this Gold Cup with the best team available, and that's what we had. We had the best team in the tournament. The only bummer was maybe that Bees got injured on the first day when he joined the team, because he would have been probably on the field the other two games. But other than that, that was the team right now as of today that try to do the job. Then obviously we keep building in the background. We're building now an Olympic team that goes in the qualifiers in October. We build the next cycle of the under-20s that did extremely well in New Zealand, just losing against the world champion then in quarterfinals. So that goes parallel. But when it's tournament time, you want to win it, and we didn't win it.
Is there going to be will this team have a similar look for the playoff, or do you think that it could be totally different for the
No, it won't be totally different. No, it will be very similar. Yeah.
Here.
No.
You're going to want to ask you about DeMarcus. Seemed to be maybe a little confusion as to whether this is actually his last game, or is it a conversation you've had with him? Does he want to make himself available for future games, or is it?
Well, I think Bees is a guy that whenever he's needed, he wants just to help. As I said, the other day, he's a giver, and I said right after the game there in the locker room, I said, Bees, I don't know if you can walk out like that. We might have to. We'll get you back in, and the guys were clapping, because they love him. The locker room loves Bees, and so we'll see. It depends on him. He made that decision a year ago. He came back for the team. For the plan was knockout stage. It didn't work out the way because of this little strain. But from my end, I'm always open, and maybe that's a question for him when he walks out of the locker room.
Jerry.
Jurgen, seems like the Germans, I need to speak about them a bit. Timothy struggled at the beginning. Same with Brooks. It looked like he took a little while to come on. Fabian Johnson seemed to be flawless throughout until his penalty kick missed tonight. Can you talk a little about the three of them throughout this tournament?
No. I don't think that we need to go into individual performances now. They all tried really hard. Everybody in his own way. And I think there's a lot coming through over time. Here and there's a bad performance, and then comes a better performance, and we evaluate that over a longer stretch of time. So it makes no sense now to go into detail with every one of them.
You're the draw for the fourth round to the Oracle qualifying came out this morning. What are your thoughts on the group that you landed?
It's all right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Panama created a lot more chances than you guys did. Why do you think that was? And also, Brad Guzan was forced into making a lot of big saves.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle the goalkeeper situation when if Tim Howard comes back in September?
Well, I will have a phone call with Tim probably next week, and then and also with Brad, and see how we want to move forward. But Brad kept us in the game, with a couple of tremendous saves. We allowed defensively too many chances there. There's no doubt about it. You saw it. But again, this game today was under a very kind of weird feeling for both sides. We wanted just to make sure, nothing bad really happens there, and let's get it done. So I'm not now blaming any of the players, if there was a couple of mistakes too many.
A few more questions here.
Huh?
Will Tim come back in?
I will have a talk with him first.
You talked yesterday about pressure and comparing here to Germany and all that, and how things are for you being here. How much pressure is there going to be on you and on this team going into the playoff game compared to the previous years of your tenure?
Well, there's constant expectations, constant pressure there for everybody. That's just normal. That's part of our job. So we didn't use that opportunity to finish things off in this tournament. So we have to finish it off in October. That's just as simple as that. If there's pressure and expectation, that's totally cool.
Is it elevated on you now to what you've seen before?
I don't know. You can judge that.
Yves, you get the last one?
Two-parter for me. What did you learn about this group through this tournament, and are there things you would have done differently through this tournament, the way you handled it?
Well, definitely you will watch the games again and you see more detailed stuff. So there's always something you find that you think then afterwards, I could have done this differently or that differently. I think overall, when you look through it, we started well into the tournament, and in a 3 days rhythm of that group, which was the most difficult group, we got out right away with 2 wins. We already qualified for the quarters, took care of the quarters, and then that happened what happened on Wednesday night. And we don't want to go into that detail anymore. So overall, I think we could have won this tournament, but at the end of the day, we didn't. So we'll take our lessons from there and analyze it and then talk to the players.